Oh, we'll find out for you, Wendigoon. We'll find out. Hello and welcome back to The Hole in the Wall. Today we'll be talking about the man himself, Wendigoon, as we discuss his very own iceberg. But first, some background on Wendigoon. He is an American YouTuber who started in July of 2019, almost overnight became a YouTube personality thanks for his likable personality and its out-of-the-box content. But one type of video has gotten him over the moon with success, his iceberg content, and more precisely, his disturbing movie Iceberg and his conspiracy Iceberg. Now, I've been watching him since the Black Parade video, all the way back in I think it would be 2020 or 2019. But I've been loving his personality and I've loved the type of videos that he's produced, as he brought something new back to the horror genre, which was interesting storytelling. Because since the original inception of internet horror, we haven't really gotten an explosion of good internet storytellers since the good old creepypasta days. So when Wendigoon put his foot into telling stories about creepy events and true crime, he set his precedent as the person who could do that. So for today's video, we've seen him cover so many different icebergs, from The Walking Dead to Star Wars to his conspiracy to his disturbing movies to his disturbing video games. But there has been one iceberg that he has failed to cover, and that is his own iceberg that his own Reddit community has created. And now, thanks to the work of Ringka, is that how you pronounce it? Ringkun? Ringkun? I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it. He has given us the 6-layer Wendigoon Iceberg. Now, to start out with this iceberg, I've tried to put all the information together that I could find, but some of the entries in here were just near impossible, as they were either just one-liners from like 9-hour videos, or they were from his original Patreon, which is no longer supported, and all that content is completely gone. So for those, I tried to substitute something else into those spots, but I 100% could not say that I found every. But with all that being said, thank you all for watching, and let's get into the Wendigoon Iceberg. So starting out in layer 1, we have his mainstream, like, what he does, or his most known aspects. Like, you can go into one of his videos and you can find out everything you need to. You know, just from one video you can figure out all this stuff. So we got Kith. That's his replacement word for intimate content. Dad. That is what his fans call him from the disturbing movie Iceberg, where he made a role-playing scenario halfway through the video where he called himself Dad and we were his children, so that is what the community now calls him, is Dad. So that's really cute. I like that. Iceberg charts, again, what he was mainly known for and what people and what started his channel were the iceberg content, media analysis, where he just deeper dives into like Local 58, the Mandela catalogs, lost tapes, more of his higher known media from YouTube and from television. Deeper dives are from the icebergs about content that in itself is very interesting, but could be opened and could have a longer runtime, so he decides to make it their own individual videos. Real crime, of course, what Wendigoon covers, basically his content. The whiteboard. The infamous whiteboard that holds all the conspiracies in Wendigoon's mind was first shown in I Proved the JFK Conspiracy with a Whiteboard. It's just a little background thing. It appears in a lot of his videos and how he sort of displays a lot of his ideas without having to use any fancy editing, but makes it feel a whole lot more like you're with your teacher or with your dad with some parental figure. Things such as is his most common known Pokemon phrase. So like if he was a Pokemon, it wouldn't be like Rear. It would be like things such as, and that would be his thing. So that ends off layer 1 into layer 2, Bible studies. So from what I can find, this was from his earlier channel life. He used to do a series called Sunday Studies, where he would basically explain aspects of the Bible and stories of the Bible. Basically what he does on his channel now, except for his, religious passion. Horror content, I mean, yeah, giants. Now this was a meme that started in the conspiracy Iceberg, where apparently just giants were linked to everything, and it just became a snowball effect into where it's now the meme of his channel. Astroworld I'm assuming that's talking about the Astroworld vinyl behind him, which hold a sentimental story with his friend from high school, where they listened to that very album after not seeing each other for so long. The Hawaiian shirt's the only shirt he seems to wear. I've never seen him not in a Hawaiian shirt. I'm pretty sure at his wedding he wore a Hawaiian shirt, but for some reason he hasn't turned it into merchandise yet, which, very strange. Wendigoon, I think you should try to do that, because that's a very lucrative career right there. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce this word, but Agartha was from the Conspiracy Iceberg, where it was, I think if I can remember correctly, it was from the Hollow Earth theory, which he said he was going to do a bigger video on, but it was eventually cancelled. A lot of these, in more near the lower layers, you're going to see as a lot of these are just references to cancelled videos that never made it. Wendigamer, oh my god, Wendigoon's a gamer. That's crazy. Yeah, no, he has a second channel called Wendigames, or Wendigang, that's right. But it's crazy. He plays video games. Oh my god, that's crazy. I love it. Whoa. Now we're in layer 3. The Black Parade. He does say that that is his most favorite video, besides for, I think it's No Country for Old Men. And it funnily enough, is the way a lot of people now actually listen to the MCR album, because in the video he actually displays a way of how he listens to it, and even for me, that's the way I listen to it now. I can't go back to listening it to the way it was originally cataloged. AI in a Box. This is from a video where Wendigoon talks about AI. This would be one of 2 videos he would do about AI, that being AI in a Box and redacted information. 19th Floor is just the music he used for the Conspiracy Iceberg. Weirdly enough, it's on the iceberg, and weirdly enough, people were able to find it. Actually, I might actually use that for the background of this video. Maybe. The Wendigoon plush is a plush that holds a bit of Wendigoon's soul in it, so if you ever have bought it, know that Wendigoon is always going to be watching you from now until the eternity of forever. He has 2 plushes that he's made in his very small line of merchandise. One where it's just him in goggles, and one where it actually is the Wendigoon, or Wendigo, in marketable plush form. Freedom, this refers to the poster of the American flag behind him, which Wendigoon has explained that he loves because it has a JFK quote that's ironic because of the JFK assassination. Free Me _ was put on the whiteboard from redacted video and AI in a Box. Longest iceberg video of all time refers to Wendigoon's 10-hour Conspiracy Iceberg. Oh my god. Doing research on this, he made a 10-hour Conspiracy Iceberg. And to put that in perspective, that doesn't even cap off his Conspiracy Iceberg, because he did more Conspiracy Iceberg. I mean, if you can milk that content, I mean, do it. But I mean, like, that's crazy. And to put in perspective, that has so many views, which means people have watched the full thing so many times, which to me is just crazy. Forest Stairs comes from video that covers a theory about stairs in the forest. Evil lizard people. This was a quote that I couldn't really find. I'm gonna guess it's in the Conspiracy Iceberg, but I mean, the evil lizard people. Thalassophobia is the fear of water, which Wendigoon in multiple videos and multiple collabs has actually expressed that is something he suffers from, is his fear of water, and not only in his Fear of the Oceans video, but in his collaboration with Mr. Gigi for I forgot when he collabed with Mr. Gigi, but there was one of them, and he scared him with the TikTok water video. Resident cryptozoologist Kayla. This refers to Wendigoon's wife Kayla, who is a zoologist and also a cryptozoologist, which I did not actually know was a legitimate thing. So I don't know whether this... So originally reading this, I thought it was referring to crypto and zoologist as 2 different words, which would make sense in a weird way, because again, Kayla is a zoologist, so I thought, okay, maybe crypto, like, you know, the digital currency, but no. So apparently cryptozoology is a legitimate thing where people take folklore and they try to prove it with science. So that's what cryptozoology is. It's basically the study of folklore, but put through the lens of science, which I think is just weird, but it's so hilarious. Like, how would you go about explaining that you're a cryptozoologist? Like, because then people are like gonna be like, what do you do for work? And they're like, oh, I'm a zoologist. Oh, that's so nice. I would always love to work with animals, even though they're really lying. No one ever wants to work with animals, truly, unless you're like with cats and puppies and stuff like that. But no one really wants to do that. And then they're gonna say, no, I actually study Wendigoons or Wendigos, chupacabras, vampires, the Loch Ness Monster, and Bigfoot. And then your other family member is gonna be like, bro, this is Thanksgiving. Let's just eat our food and not see each other for another year and a half. Wendigo vampire refers to the lost tape show that caused Wendigoon childhood trauma because of one scene where the vampire looks at the screen and then jumps forward, and apparently that gave Wendigoon so much childhood trauma back in the day, which weirdly enough caused him to start looking into more of the creepier aspects, trying to chase that high, which is somewhat of a masochist thing to do, but I mean, that's what I did. So yeah, it's a masochist thing. Kingsman Church fight, but with the re-resort theme. It is exactly what it sounds like. Complete cursed perfection. I had to search this up, and I watched the video, and I couldn't stop laughing. The Mr. GG and Plague Moth collab. A video where we watch Wendy react to a video sent by the creator of MD Pope, who sent him MD Pope 5, which we'll be talking about more in the ending. But layer 4, Rokano's Basilisk. Just look it up. I swear you'll be fine. Gun channel. So this refers to how Wendigoon started off making just gun videos, and how his first video was a gun tier list because America? Based and Christ-pilled refers to his religious and based opinions, as Wendigoon is always just someone so chill with his stuff, and he has that very much I'm not going to change because of something attitude, which makes him a really likable guy. Double switches. This was again one of the ones where there wasn't enough information, but I think it refers to Wendigoon's The Man Who Hilariously Won World War II, where the spy switches sides so many times that he just ends up tricking everyone and ends up winning. Mondo Gore Renaissance. From what I could tell, I thought this was going to be a part of the disturbing movie Iceberg, and it wasn't in anywhere that I could find. So what I'm going to guess is it is just, what they're referring to is just the disturbing movie Iceberg in the Mondo film section in layer, I think, 6? Sharktopus. Okay, where do I start off with Sharktopus? So Sharktopus is a meme that was started on Reddit where Wendigoon has a very passionate relationship with a creature known as a Sharktopus. Now, originally I thought this might have been from his ocean or his conspiracy video. From what I could find, this was just a meme on Reddit, and the story here is just crazy. So apparently Wendigoon starts a family with a Sharktopus. He ends up having a kid Sharktopus, and then ends up leaving his Sharktopus family. And that's all the information that we get told. It's like 6 memes long, and there's no information beyond that. It's just that. And to this day, I don't know 100% if Wendigoon knows about this, or whether or not it's so true that he's trying to hide the truth from everyone. Microphone.png. So this refers to his famous Blue Yeti microphone that makes an appearance in almost every piece of media he's in. And the joke that it is somehow fake. That's really it. Ugly Kid's Side of the Room. I don't actually know where this one comes from. I did see a couple of memes off of it, but I'm pretty sure it is from one of his videos. I just don't know where it's from. Warden of the Woods. So actually, I was wrong about saying that his first video was the gun tier list, since technically it was not. technically Wendigoon's first video was a video where he covered a Native American cryptid known as the Wendigo. Understandable why that was his first video. And still to this day it is unlisted or deleted. I don't really know. There was no re-uploads. I wish I could watch this video, but apparently it was bad, which I don't believe. Wendigoon's true height. A mystery known by no one, not even Wendigoon, but I do have a theory. But I'll keep that to the bottom layers. Star Wars thing. So this was something from the 100K special, which is I think his Star Wars poster that his mom gave him. Angel Gripes. I don't actually know where this comes from. I think if anything this comes from his discussing angels video, but I couldn't find it anywhere. House of the Worm. So this one was pretty difficult, but this is basically one of his favorite SCP stories. Tree Talk. So I have a funny story on how I found out what this was. And it wasn't from checking the wiki, but basically it was Wendigoon's Patreon exclusive podcast where he talks about more mysteries. But again, as I said, the Patreon is completely down, which means I had to go looking for this content in other places. So if you search up Tree Talk on the internet, it will actually give you someone who re-uploaded the podcast, but not on YouTube. It's on one of those really sketchy websites that might have stolen all my data, and it had like Kith related media plastered all over it. Like, it was one of those websites, but you would still listen to the full hour-and-a-half podcast on there. But I didn't, because I don't want my data stolen. So Inflammable. Again, this was one that I don't know. It's a quote that is probably near impossible to find. If you guys know anything about these, please leave them in the comments down below, because I would love to redo this, or I would love to make a video later on talking about the ones that I missed. Always go for the lame shirt. Again, another one that has no meaning, but I'm gonna guess. But for this one, I will actually add something, even though I have no clue where it was. But I will talk about his appearance in Meat Canyon's video, also his first piece of merch, which had the Wendigoon logo on it. The last broadcast ending, I think, is a reference to Local 58 video, or a found footage style video, which he has quoted, which has been quoted as having the worst ending ever for a horror film. I think it is the found footage style movie, because he did mention it in the 100K special, but it could also be Local 58. Final Prayer is a found footage horror movie of the same name that Wendigoon loves, that is considered one of his favorite horror movies because of the infamous twist ending. So now we are in layer 5. This is where we get into some of the more harder to find stuff. So this is gonna be the stuff that, like, again, you either have to be looking at every single one of Wendigoon's pieces of media, or I don't know. So Snuff, R73, MD Pope 5, and Disturbing Film Bottom Tier Controversy. I decided to lump these together because of the fact that all of these sort of tell a story when you get down to it. So let's talk about the bottom tier controversy. So the bottom tier controversy he faced because of the fact that near the ending of the disturbing movie Iceberg, he said that every single one in the bottom layer had relations to CP. Now, this is a problem because a lot of that media did not, and a lot of other YouTubers who covered that media were starting to get a lot of hate because of the fact that he said that they had a relation to CP. But Wendigoon later came onto the fact of the MD Pope 5 that he said, and he misphrased that most of them had CP, but what he meant to say is some of them contain, not all of them, which came to the controversy, which is where we get into the MD Pope 5, where the creator of MD Pope was so mad at Wendigoon for making these claims that he sent him and a bunch of other horror YouTubers MD Pope 5, which was basically a memed version of the MD Pope series, which he covered in the Mr. Gigi and Plague Moth collab that we mentioned in layer 3. R73 was another one of the entries at the bottom layer, which is basically just this very infamous, disturbing film that the internet right now can't make heads or tails of whether it exists or not. Some people say that it is just MD Pope and some other stuff added. Some people aren't. It's still one of these like urban legend horror disturbing movies that, from my information, I don't know whether or not it has been confirmed or not. Wendigoon is a giant. This actually refers to a meme created by Reddit that is just completely false. Nexus 7 and Parrot and Parrot, I want to lump these two together. They are basically conspiracies that Wendigoon was never able to figure out any information on. 28.5% Anton, is it real? And 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 58 seconds are all from a video, but I just don't know which one. SEN is another one of those ones that he could not figure out any information on that was in the conspiracy theory iceberg. But why I didn't link it to Nexus 7 and Parrot was because actually later on, Redditors actually found information of an old YouTube channel that actually relates back to SEN, S-E-N, but they don't really know what it could mean. Jetmoto lost footage. This actually refers to his childhood trauma video where he found a glitch within the game Jetmoto in which you would go into the ocean and collide within a wall, which he said he could not find a video on or explain where exactly this could happen, and he doesn't know whether it was true or not. But later on, Reddit actually did show a video that did prove that this glitch was possible and that it was real. Wendigoon is actually a dwarf. Now, this is a theory I can 100% get behind, because we never see Wendigoon without that table, which, in my theory, I don't think Wendigoon is actually a dwarf. I think he is actually a magical leprechaun sent by the Irish government to stop us investigating the Loch Ness Monster, which they have completely tamed and they have strapped military-grade missiles to in hopes to sink our American submarines. Pocket Dimension Sailor. I don't know where this comes from. I think it might be from the conspiracy iceberg, but I don't know. Flying over the city with a skyscraper visible in the background is a blatant reference to. So again, this is one that I couldn't find, but weirdly enough, I can 100% see Wendigoon saying this in like the conspiracy iceberg or in another video. And now finally we are at layer 6. Now this is where a lot of them I couldn't, again, there was some of them that I just couldn't figure out. This was one of the ones that it took me a while to find. This was actually probably the most searched about layer, but this is probably one of the most interesting layers as we find out a lot more about Wendigoon than I think Wendigoon knows about himself. Samuel and Saul time passage. This actually refers to his first Sunday study video, which funnily enough, he actually filmed it in real time, so we actually could see where he started the video and when he ended the video at like complete nighttime. People who died in controversial events. This is from the 100K Q&A where he talks about Epstein. Spirit of the Fighting Night Award. I don't know what this is. I searched up Spirit of the Fighting Night Award, I searched up Wendigoon Spirit of the Fighting Night Award, and then I even searched up his real name with this, and nothing came up. I don't know what this is from, I don't know what this award is, I have no clue what exactly this is. The same goes for Watchman, Voda for Collab, and Smitty from Polite Society watches MLP. I don't know what those are from. I legitimately looked everywhere and could not find anything about these. I don't know. I won, Dad. I mean, anytime Wendigoon posts we won, and we just want to tell him that in the comments. Socks. This actually refers to the same thing as Kith, but for his Star Wars deep dive. Or for his Star Wars iceberg. Date of death. So this is actually from an old, now unlisted YouTube video where Wendigoon talked about this YouTube channel from back in 2020. There was this huge YouTube channel called 2020 Vision, where they would post these videos saying the death dates of famous celebrities, which was actually explained much later on as they just had hundreds of thousands unlisted videos, and when a famous actor would die, they would public the video, and it would look as though they called it years and years beforehand, but they didn't. It was just they had millions of those with millions of dates, and one of those happened to be Wendigoon's. But you can't actually watch this. This is a video that is publicly available on Reddit, but it is an unlisted video, so you have to go through that link to actually get to that video. Wendigoon proxies. Every video is personalized by Wendigoon. I don't know what that means, but yes, I think. 3 seconds of a kid's show that didn't look like a kid's show. This was from the 100K Wendigoon special, where he said he had a video that he wanted to make, and there was a huge rabbit hole in it, but still to this day we have no clue what that video was or where that deep dive is. From what we understand, Wendigoon has not had any information about this or is in any way planning to make this video. And from what we have been told, it is probably not Candle Cove, and it wasn't Local 58. From what we know, those aren't the videos. Off-screen reptilian pet. So apparently he has some sort of reptilian pet that I'm pretty sure he's using as leverage against the lizard people that are in the society of our government. Lucid Dream video, this is another one of Wendigoon's concept videos that he talked about in the 100k special that he wanted to make, but that sort of went nowhere. And to end off the Wendigoon Iceberg, jar in a vat, which is actually just a mispronunciation of brain in a jar. And basically, the creator just wanted to put that in there as sort of a, you made it to the end, congratulations, I guess. But, I mean, that's really it. I had fun making this iceberg. Again, I love Wendigoon. I love his channel. I love everything he does. He was the one to inspire me to start making YouTube videos. Thank you, Wendigoon. If you're watching this, I actually have a message for you. If you ever get to seeing this video, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making the content you make. Thank you for being the light to everyone's day, you know. Again, a lot of people watch your channel for comfort and for, you know, a lot of that thought, you know, again, I know the community called you dad, but some people actually do see you as dad, as their father figure, and I think that's just so great that, you know, you're making that impact to people's lives. And, yeah. I guess the one last thing I would like to ask is, and I know this isn't really conventional on YouTube, but if you ever down for a collab, I would, and I know, you know, I'm a very small YouTuber, but I would love to collab with you. I have a couple of great ideas that I think you would like and aren't just another iceberg or reacting to A and B and C. I actually have a pretty interesting idea where we look at a bunch of old cryptids from each of our states that we come from and we tier list them. I think would be a pretty fun video, or again, just watching A, B, and C video, if that would be something you would want to do. I would love to make a collab with you. I would love to be a part of your channel and actually, you know, be able to say that I was here on YouTube and be able to do something like you do, as I want to make this something big and I would love to collab with you is basically what I'm saying. And if you're down to working with a YouTuber with like 12 subscribers but a can-do attitude, I would love to work with you. And yeah, but really, thank you, Wendigoon, for everything you do. Thank you for being the YouTuber that did it, I guess. And first, thank you to all my subscribers who came to watch this video and all the new ones who hopefully you guys will stick around after listening to me ramble about Wendigoon for the last 30 minutes. Thank you. Again, I have so much fun content coming out soon. Again, maybe a collab with Wendigoon if you say yes. But thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Please, if you know any of these ones that I missed, please put them in the comments down below, as I would love to figure out what some of these meant. As, again, as I said, either they're very small from one part of a video, or they were originally on the Patreon, or they were from some old post or something that I just can't find anymore. Please, if you know what that means, put them down in the comments, and if I find enough of, and if we find enough of them, I'll make a second video where I get to correcting my mistakes in this video. But with all that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys come back for the next couple videos. Thank you for watching, and good night.